Hello again, Gooners. This is the Loose Cannon. I'll get my words out in the end. This is the Loose Cannon number 60 something. I'm not too sure. Anyway, back here I am again with the Emirates sign up there. I've been a bit tired lately. I've got to be honest. I've been really busy, which is why I haven't been hitting you with these blogs quite as often as I used to. Anyway, I might get back into the old routine again. Let's see about that. What have I got coming up for you? Not an awful lot. I'm going to confess that right away. A couple of things I did want to cover. I wanted to cover my predictions because my predictions, I'm in a rich vein of form right now. A bit like Vito Minoni. I nearly called him Victor. I'm not quite sure why. It does look a bit like Frankenstein. I mean the monster rather than the creator. Sorry, Vito, but you're playing well, and I commend you for that. And long may it continue, particularly against Manchester City. I think it's going to be tested a lot in that game. But anyway, so far so good. Vito Minoni, a very good performance against Montpellier, despite conceding a goal, which was a bit embarrassing from the penalty spot. And obviously, Szczesny didn't cover himself in glory. With the way he came out, trying to catch the ball with one hand, as I said on the Gooner podcast. That's not the way to behave unless you're Pat Jennings, and Szczesny's certainly not that. Actually, I had a word with a Polish guy today, and I was moaning about Polish goalkeepers. I don't think he was very pleased with me, but I said it to him anyway. I think he forgave me. I said I like Szczesny. He's just, I think he's suffering from bad form at the moment, and Fabianski's out of contract next summer, so probably going to leave anyway. And I said I wanted him to explain it to me. He couldn't. I said, well, why is it that Fabianski is selected for Poland? He's on the bench for Poland. He's not selected for Arsenal. I'm not too bothered about it, but I'd just like to know what's going on. That's all. Is he injured or is he not injured? These injuries are extremely mysterious to me. I mean, Szczesny, somebody said he'd got a rib injury, and next minute he's got an ankle injury. I know injuries don't always stay in the same place, and one part of the body affects another, but something strange is going on at Arsenal. Not for the first time, and I don't buy into all these injuries. I just don't believe all these injuries are strictly what they are presented to us as. I think there's something else. It's a bit of a masquerade at Arsenal. Anyway, before I rudely interrupted myself, I was going to tell you what was coming up. Oh, before I do that, oh, look at that. Look at that. That was in the Arsenal programme. The programme for the Southampton game. Obviously, waltzing home 6-1. See, I can't stay on point, can I? So we won that 6-1. I think you already know that. I'm not gonna dissect the game. But what I tell you, this is the main thing. This is the main thrust of what I'm gonna talk about, is how to make Theo Walcott stay at Arsenal. I learned some tricks this week, which is why I've been busy. Some tricks of the trade about behaviour management. So, Arsene Wenger knows a lot about a lot of things, but does he know the ins and outs of behaviour management? If not, I hope he's listening, because I've got some tips for him. I'm sure he's not going to be interested in my tips, but I'm going to give him those tips anyway. And what else have I got for you? I've got my prediction tips, because I tell you what, you'll be shocked. You'll be shocked when you find out about my accuracy. And one other thing, I might have a little kind of Arsenal Jackanory section for you at the end. If you've got any ideas about what I should name it, keep it polite, please. Do let me know, because I'm not always good at naming things. Anyway, my predictions last week, I've got to tell you, I've got to mention my mate Alan in Japan. He only got 2 out of 4 in the J.League. That is his strength, right? So I doubled up on him. Okay, I must admit, he beat me out of sight the week before and the week before that. But last week I got 4 right. Sanfrecce beating Vagauta Sendai. That was a home win. Yokohama against Urawa. That was an away win. Kawasaki against Kashima Antlers. That was a draw. And Kashiwa Reiso against Consadole was a home win. And I got all those 4 right. I'm not sure which ones Alan got, but he only got 2. And get this, right? In the Premier League, I'm really on a roll. I've got 7 correct. I still can't believe it. Norwich drawing with West Ham. Arsenal beating Southampton. Dot on the cards, as was Manchester United beating Wigan. QPR Chelsea, I had that down as a draw because it was a local derby. Just explaining my crazy logic. Stoke against Man City, I had that down as a draw because Stoke, obviously a tough place to go, as we found out earlier this season. Reading against Spurs, I had that as an away win, sorry. And Everton, Newcastle, had it as a draw because couldn't work that one out. So I've got 7. Alan only got 3. So Alan, hold your head in shame. I don't think he minds getting these results wrong as long as you buy J Soccer magazine. So there's his plug. So and thanks for letting me spend a lot of time in your office, Alan, doing these blogs, vodcasts, whatever else you want to call them. So anyway, what have I got for you this time in terms of predictions? I'll rush through these because I know some of you are not interested and some of you are. But as I'm on a roll, I thought I would give all the gambling maniacs of you something to chew on. Consadole against Omia. And I've got this down, just to make it a little bit interesting. I thought I'm going to change the names of some of the clubs. Consadole, I'm now calling them the Soup Boys. Why, you might ask? Soup sounds like consomme, right? Consadole against the Omelettes. So Soup against the Omelettes, got it down as a draw. Kashima, I'm going to call them the Cashews. It's all strictly food at the moment. Against Yokohama FM, they're the DJs. Why, you might ask? FM, of course, Marinos. So I've got that down. The Cashews are going to draw against the DJs. And then what else have I got? I've got Vegalta against Vissel. This is going to be played 7:30 in the morning UK time, apparently, or around about that. Vegalta against Vissel. Did I have names for them? Yeah, the Thistles was Vissel, and Vegalta, the Vegans. So the Vegans are going to win that one. Yeah, because they've got a better diet than the Thistles. So, Urawa Reds against Gamba. That's the Gamblers against, what did I call them? The Batteries. Batteries, you might ask why. Ever Ready, right? They're Reds. So, the Reds are going to win that. The Batteries are going to win that, should I say. Jubilo against Albirex. That's, what is it? My code for that. Jubilo, I'm calling them the Water Boys. Jubilo Iwata. Sounds a bit like water. I know it's not water in Japanese, but hey, who cares? Albirex. What about Albirex? They're the albinos to me. So who's going to win? The Water Boys or the albinos? I've got the Water Boys to win that. Home win. Cerezo against Shimizu. That was a difficult one for me to come up with silly nicknames. I've been warned about doing this, by the way, but I'm not paying any attention. Sorry. Or perhaps I'm not sorry. I can't even remember what I called them. You'd be glad to hear. No, Rizzlers. That's it. The Rizzlers. That's Cerezo. Against Shimizu, that's the Misses. So, it doesn't sound great, does it? So, the Rizzlers and the Misses, they're going to draw. Okay. Tokyo against Kawasaki. Well, obviously, Kawasaki are the bikers. And Tokyo are the TikToks. And I think the TikToks are going to win that one with a last-minute goal. Just before the clock turns 12 or whatever. And they turn into pumpkins. It's getting a bit crazy, right? Nagoya against Sanfrecce. Sanfrecce, what can I call them? Che Guevara's Heroes. It's a good job I've got notes down there because I would never remember that one. Che Guevara's Heroes. It's getting worse. Against the grumpy old men of Nagoya. I've got a draw. They're going to share the points, the Heroes and Che's Heroes and the grumpy old men. What about... I always say they're just a bunch of Tosu or Sagan. I've got a new name for them now. Carl Sagan's Astronomers. That sounds a lot more decent, doesn't it? So the Astronomers against Kashiwa Reysol. I could think of a few things to go with Reysol, but I'm not going to go there because it's too crude. What did I come up with in the end? Oh, I'm not sure. Maybe that's one for you. Kashiwa Reysol. Oh no, I called them the Cashews. Let's see how confusing that is. And the Kashima Antlers, which was at the start against Yokohama F. Marinos, Kashima Antlers are, of course, the Ants. Because we can't call them Antlers, I've got to change it. Anyway, I've got that down as a draw, so there you go. That's my predictions. But the Premier League, quick predictions for those games. The early kickoff, Swansea against Everton, got that down as a draw. Chelsea-Stoke, home win. Sorry about that. I'd love Stoke to get a point and try and... Well, Chelsea at the moment, they've got problems. I did speak to somebody who worked for Chelsea very recently, and this particular person, I'm not going to name names, this particular person told me what awful employers Chelsea are, allegedly. Obviously, with Abramovich going around getting involved in team affairs. That's not good for Chelsea. So perhaps you might want to go with a draw. I'm not that convinced that it's gonna throw them. It's really going to throw them as much as perhaps the media think. All these problems they've had, but they've obviously drawn with Juventus. They're not in the best frame of mind to take on Stoke, who are never easy even away from home. But Stoke are not quite as formidable away from home, which is why I've gone for the home win. Southampton, Villa, I've gone for a draw there because I don't really fancy either team to do well this season. Villa doing slightly better than Southampton, who have been abysmal, but they're bound to bounce back after that 6-1 defeat, and I think they're going to be a little bit more resilient defensively. West Brom against Reading, home win. West Brom have started reasonably well, Reading not so well, and Reading have got a few problems. I think there's some disciplinary issues going off this week. West Ham against Sunderland, I've got it down as a home win. It's going to be a tight affair, though. West Ham under Sam Allardyce, I think, are going to be really difficult to beat this season, and especially at Upton Park or the Boleyn Ground or whatever other name you want to give it. I think they're going to narrowly win that one. Wigan against Fulham, I've got that down as a draw because it's very hard to predict that one. And then on Sunday, Liverpool play Manchester United. It's going to be tough and feisty. I've got it down as a draw. That's the early kickoff on Sunday. Newcastle against Norwich is the next one to kick off. Newcastle should manage to win that quite comfortably. Manchester City against ourselves. I've got City to win that. Again, I'm very sorry about it. I think Manoni starting in goal is a bonus point for us, but it's not going to win us a point, unfortunately. Unless Manoni has an outstanding game. I think he'll have a good game, but will he be outstanding enough to keep out all of Manchester City's forwards? Again, they're not really on song losing to Real Madrid, but they're likely to bounce back, which is another reason why I've got it down as a home win for City. And Spurs against QPR. QPR, a star-studded team nowadays, but I don't think they're going to be strong enough for Spurs, even though I don't think Spurs are as strong as some of their fans think. I still think they're going to manage to overcome QPR. So they're my predictions. I can put them to one side now, and you can watch the money roll in or not, as the case may be, if you're silly enough to listen to my predictions. And on that silly note, perhaps at this moment, I should let you know about my plan for Theo Walcott. The behaviour management plan for Theo Walcott. It's all very simple, and it was all written by an Australian by the name of Bill Rogers, who came up with a 4-point plan to control behaviour. Maybe control is the wrong word. Manage behaviour. And stage 1 is simple direction. This is the least intrusive way of getting to someone and I keep saying control, but I mean manage their behaviour. And what you have to say in this simple direction stage is this. If you're Arsene Wenger and you're speaking to Theo, you come out with the following. You say, I want you to sign. Put the pen to paper. And then you say thank you, or I was going to say gracias. Bit like Mr. Bean when he tries to speak French. And obviously, I don't know why I keep thinking about the Japanese now, arigato gozaimasu, but it's not that. We want to say, what do we want to say? Merci. Right, so that's what you say. Simple direction. I want you to sign the contract, Theo Walcott. Please put the pen to paper. You might not even have to say please, but they definitely say thank you, and because that's the assumptive close, as they say in salesman speak. So definitely say thank you or merci. I want you to sign, Theo. Please put pen to paper. Right. Second stage, redirection. Because obviously the first stage hasn't worked, has it? So then you say, because Theo's going to come out with something like, he's going to object, right? You say, I want you to sign the paper. Please put your pen to it. Thank you. The assumptive close didn't work, so Theo comes back and says, oh, but Robin Van Persie's not here anymore. And then you say, but maybe Robin Van Persie has disappeared, but you are still here. I want you to sign. You must use this phrase, I want you. If you use this phrase, it's emotively engaging and it's going to motivate the player to do what you want. So take a leaf out of my book, Arsene. Say that. Maybe Robin has disappeared, but you are still here. I want you to sign. And then that's the redirection stage. And then the third stage is choice. So what you say here, you give him a couple of choices. One choice, not very palatable. So you say this. If you choose to carry on prevaricating and quibbling about your contract, you will have to play in the reserves. But if you sign, you can play. So you give him a positive outcome there. So I hope, Arsene, you're listening and you try to use that, because I think that's about the stage we're at now. Probably we're on getting very close to the choice stage. At the moment, Arsene Wenger not playing Theo Walcott, which, well, we're not really missing him, are we? We're getting good results. So finally, we come to the exit stage, which is the most intrusive for Theo Walcott. And if at this point Theo says, "Okay, I'll sign," well, we'll have to let him go anyway. That's the way the cookie crumbles on this one. So looks to me that's the stage we're at. But I'll tell you what, before I exit, I'll do a little bit of Jackanory, if I can find the book. The page in the book. I'm using Phil Saw and who is it? Martin Tyler. How can I forget Martin Tyler? Well, I was talking about goalkeepers and Mannone and how great he is and everything. But a great of the past, of course, in goal was Bob Wilson. And I'm going to pick up the plot where I find it really at the top of the page, 147. Liverpool played superbly to beat Arsenal, and Bob Wilson was so busy. We don't want Mannone to be that busy at Manchester City. Bob Wilson was so busy, he left Anfield to glowing plaudits from the voluble Liverpool manager Bill Shankly. Shall I try and do his voice all right? "One save was brilliant. He must have sprinted half a dozen yards before he flung his arms up to deflect Toshak's header." Toshak's header, that is in English. "A marvellous piece of quick thinking and agility. There are lots of good goalkeepers around. What makes Wilson outstanding is his courage. He'll dive at players' feet and make quick decisions. He's had his fair share of luck, but bravery encourages luck." So bravery encourages luck in English, and certainly Bob Wilson was one of the bravest goalkeepers around. And I think Mannone's quite brave too. Not in the same league as Bob Wilson yet, though. Joe Mercer was the next opposing manager to praise Wilson with this postscript to Manchester City's 1-0 defeat at Highbury. "If we had swapped goalkeepers, we would have won 2-1. Can't remember Joe's accent, but I really liked him a lot. Remember when he was caretaker boss of England? Maybe not, but he was. And of course, an Arsenal legend. Wilson added to his growing list of critical interventions with 2 acrobatic stops from Colin Bell. Conversely, Joe Corrigan in the City goal, cost his side a point when he fumbled Simpson's 30-yard drive 5 minutes from time, and John Radford seized on the rebound. The match will not live long in the memory, but Bertie Mee saw the significance in the winning goal. We learned long ago from high morale teams like Leeds and Liverpool that you really can make your own luck. Peter Simpson, for example, must have been tired when he cut out that ball, but he still had enough belief to run on and try his luck with the shot. And following up on other people's shots is something we demand of John Radford. It is easy to get players to do it at the start, but to make what looks like a useless run in the last few minutes takes character. If John Radford had stopped running, no one would have noticed or blamed him. But by going flat out at the end, he was on the spot to score. The goal brought Arsenal 4 wins out of 4 against the Manchester clubs for the first time in 50 years. And let's hope we get a bit more of that this weekend. Until the next time, up the Gooners.